Alright guys, how's it going? Cyril here, and you probably noticed I haven't uploaded in a while. It's because I've been studying and I haven't had time, and I don't have equipment, so but I used Fraps today to record the episode on the trading, so that's not too bad. But right now I'm here to talk about how I think the whole Kenny situation and the manager situation at Liverpool will fare out. As a Liverpool fan myself, I'm disappointed to see Kenny go because, every manager needs time, and in Sir Alex's early years, he was nearly sacked, but they kept him on, and look what he's done. Who's to say Kenny couldn't do something like that with us? He's brought in young talent. He was told to do that by the owners, and they've turned their back on him. And, I mean, for one bad season to sack the manager is a terrible idea. And personally, if they bring in someone like Martinez, I know Rodgers ruled himself out this morning, but if they bring in someone like Martinez, no offence to Wigan fans, but he's just going to be another Hodgson. And a one-off manager who's had a couple of good seasons, who's decent reputation, who's going to fuck it up because he's going to fuck up with us. I love Martinez's tactics, but he's only going to bring in average players. And I know they're interviewing a lot of people, but there's only two or three choices for me. A few choices, I'd say. Definitely one has to be Rafa, to bring Rafa back. I mean, the teams he had for us were frightening. It's really kind of the homegrown rule that kind of affected him up, because he was kind of hoping for he didn't know it was coming into play, and when he realised they were bringing it in, he sold Alonso and was trying to bring in Barry, but then Barry went for City. So we had no one in midfield besides Stevie, so he panic bought Aquilani, and we all know how that story turned out. So, he deserves a shot, I think. I think he would have done a lot more with that money had he got it. I think Juan Mata would be here. I think Llorente, those kind of players, and maybe a few English players. But that's really just one option. Another option is Jurgen Klopp. Now, I don't know much about him, his history, whatever. I don't even know what he looks like. But I know he's guided Dortmund to 2 Bundesliga titles. I think it's 2. And in fairness, they were doing nothing before he came in. I mean, look at him now. Shinji Kagawa, Mario Götze, what's the other lad's name? Barrios. And loads of other players I could name. And it's not surprising they've won it again. And, of course, he'd be a good manager. But would he leave them? I mean, they're getting Champions League football now regularly. Would he leave them? Maybe, I don't know. Then you have the likes of Frank Rijkaard, Pep Guardiola, the outsider. I don't think Pep will join. I think Liverpool fans hope for it, but secretly he's not going to join. And probably my favourite. Now, Sunderland fans are probably going to eat the head off me for this, but Martin O'Neill. I mean, he's Irish. Now, that's kind of homegrown, really, because he's British, really. I'm not going to go into a politic argument, but he's homegrown, really. He's always stated how much he loves Anfield and how much he loves the atmosphere and the fans. He's been linked with the job when Rafa was sacked, when Wright was sacked, and now when Kenny was sacked. I know he's only been at Sunderland for a couple of months, but in fairness, Ellis Short, the Sunderland chairman, has even told Martin O'Neill he's not going to be giving him the kind of money Steve Bruce was getting, because he can't afford it. They actually have to slash their wages. And it's only because they got Jordan Henderson and all that. But then they got money for Jordan Henderson, and then they spent all that on Wes Brown and stuff. And that's typical Steve Bruce. Sorry, I'm talking so fast. But that's typical Steve Bruce to buy 2 United rejects, offer massive wages, and they fuck up John O'Shea and Wes Brown, and plenty of other players. But I think he has to come in because he's done a wonderful job there, and I think he would get us at least a top 5 if he got it, and a 30 million transfer kitty. But then the last person I think is AVB, Andre Villas-Boas. Now, in fairness, he was hyped up to be a great manager at Chelsea, and he didn't do too great, but he was only 3 points off 4th, keeping them in the Champions League and FA Cup. I mean, it was only a really bad turn of results that kind of affect them up, because they did great in the start of the season. And I think if Torres had to hit form like he has now, earlier in the season, it would have been a lot better. But AVB didn't play much. I think he'd be an alright option because there was a lot of pressure on him at Chelsea. Didn't they pay like nearly 20 million to get him released from his contract? I mean, that's got to be one of the most expensive managers I've ever seen. And he's still, I mean, some of the players were older than him, nearly as old as him. Like, how are you supposed to look up to that kind of a player or person to tell you what to do if you're older than him, if you're their senior? And so the problem I'd have with him coming to Liverpool, I think he should stay coaching because no one is going to take orders from someone like that. I mean, it's okay in Portugal and Porto. They were playing such nice football, he might as well not have been manager. But it's unfair to hype him up like that. And I think Di Matteo will get the Chelsea job. And so, in my opinion, Rafa, AVB, you know, you have Lowe, you have Capello, you have a few others, but Rafa, AVB and Martin O'Neill. Martin O'Neill is my favourite to get the job. And I'd like to see us bring in Giuseppe Rossi or Neil Maher or both from Villarreal, who were relegated, just in case you didn't know. And the club needs money. They have to slash their wages, they need money, and they're the only two prize assets Villarreal really have apart from the goalie. So we could go for him. Or we could go for them two, sorry. And there's so many other talents out there we could have gone for. I'm so disappointed we didn't go for Podolski. Marin is supposed to be joining Chelsea, Marco Marin, but I'd love to see him join us. It's going to be an interesting summer anyway for all teams. Shinji Kagawa to United. What's his name? Munain to Liverpool. Affalay to Liverpool. Really, I think we should go for David Hoyle or Junior Hoyle or whatever from Blackburn on a free. Get another winger in, decent striker, decent playmaker in midfield, and maybe a backup centre back. Because Carra is really, you know, he's not the same player as he was, and I think he'll be more the odd game here and there because he's not. But Coates is there as well, and Kelly can slot in at centre back. But I really think someone like Scott Dan, since Blackburn have gone down, or you know, someone like that would be good. And that's really it for me, lads. So just like my thoughts, you know, I've been planning to do a video on kind of like my thoughts in the Premier League, like, and you know, I just thought this would be the right time because my bus broke down for school and I got a day off, so yes. Anyway, I'll be getting my equipment soon, recording, uploading, yada yada yada. See you later. Hope you enjoyed. Bye bye.